The European temperate deciduous broadleaf forest is located all around Europe, stretching as far north as Scotland, Ireland, down to France, most of Germany, and eastward to the Urals. The deciduous forest biome of Europe has 4 seasons. It experiences mild weather with warm to cool summers and moderately cold winters. This is due largely to the moderating effects of the Atlantic Ocean. The soil is nutrient enriched and has long growing seasons. Trees in the deciduous forest undergo adaptations all 4 seasons. The average temperature per month is around 26 degrees Celsius. The average amount of precipitation is around 38 inches. The expected weather temperature in June is 40 degrees Celsius and the expected rainfall is 20 inches. The things we will need to survive are a backpack, a blanket, a pot, a lighter, bug spray, at least 20 granola bars, water bottles, gaze, and duct tape. The source of drinkable water that we have is water from the lake. To clean this water, we would boil it with fire. The sources of natural renewable energy to both stay warm and cook food would be the wood gathered from the forest. Then we will use a lighter to start the fire.
Just leave it. Yeah, I think so. No, it's just burning because it's wet.
Oh, dude, the bottom.
It's fine.
No, look, it's fire. You're so slow.
It's gonna...
The best shelter from the deciduous forest would be a tent, which provides shelter to all sides, preventing you from experiencing a wild animal attack in the night. Native plants that people are able to eat are common jujube, which has spiny branches and produces an edible fruit, which is reddish brown or yellowish green in color, with a sweet flavor. The pulp can be used for a refreshment. An edible plant available in the deciduous forest would be tree nuts, produced by the shagbark hickory tree. These nuts fall to the ground once they are ready to be eaten. The nuts feature a thick husk that takes some effort to get through. The interior flesh has a sweet taste and is a good source of protein. A plant that is available for consumption would be wild berries. This includes blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. These berries grow on shrubs and are favored by birds and bears. American beech, which has nuts that fall to the ground and make for animal life as well as people to eat. The nuts are nutritious and provide protein needed to survive if you are lost in the forest. The edible plants in the forest need to be inspected before eating for any kind of bugs. Do not eat any plants if you are unsure of their safety, but if you want to test a plant for edibility, you need to take a very tiny bite to ensure that you have a taste, but not too much that it causes you to become sick.
Use a stick.
Like I did.
Oh, hell yeah, that has spikes.
We're already over here, boy. There's another one over here.
Some native animals you could eat are white-tailed deer, raccoons, frogs, American black bears, opossums, porcupines, squirrels, red foxes, and chipmunks. Some organisms available for consumption are the puffball mushroom, which have a solid white fleshy interior with a large round head and short stalks that are quite thick. They can be cooked and eaten just as any other edible mushroom. Another organism that we are able to eat is the tonki milkcamp mushroom, which is a fungi that is 2 to 5 inches wide.
Or Lila.
Or Lila, depending on boy or girl.
I don't know how to turn
Here's
it
our
on. That's the
mushroom
problem.
thing.
I know how to set it up.
In the beginning of the year, when you would always have mocos, you would always be like this.
Yeah.
The plan for growing and harvesting food would be to obtain seeds from plants such as berries, or even have included seeds in the survival bag. For capturing food, we will use a knife to create wooden spears and kill fish and hunt. We will cook our food by creating a fire. We will stay calm and we will not scream if an animal is approaching us. The animal may look tame, but we cannot assume. We will pay attention to the animal's behavior. If the animal is showing aggressiveness, we will stay away. We will not run unless the organism is running towards us. running away should be your last resort because it can make the organism want to go after you. If an animal is posing a threat, start backing away and head to safety. To defend yourself against an animal, if it attacks, by using a survival weapon and screaming for help. In case of trouble, some herbs that can give us first aid would be the lady fern plants in the deciduous forest grown wild, and the roots can be ground to dust and then added to water. This plant, which grows in the understory of the forest, is used as a healing remedy, which can be used to soothe aches and pains. Overdoses of the lady fern plants can cause weakness and, in some severe cases, blindness. Calendula extract. Cuts and scrapes, minor burns, inflamed rashes. Chamomile flowers, calming, indigestion, wounds, rashes. Fennel seeds, indigestion, gas, bloating, and increased breast milk. Ginger root, nausea, vomiting, and menstrual cramps. Lavender, stress, anxiety, sleep, minor burns, and cold sores. Lemon balm leaf, restlessness, irritability, indigestion, and sleep. Marshmallow root, mouth and throat sores, heartburn, cough, and indigestion.
It's poop. No, look at there's different footprints. That's a whole bear. Oh.
If one of us stopped breathing, we will provide mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. If bleeding, we will elevate the wound, apply pressure to the wound with a gauze, clean cloth, dried seaweed, or sphagnum moss. If bleeding continues, we will use a tourniquet between the injury and the heart, only in extreme cases. In case of snake bites, we will clean the affected area, and if it's poisonous, we will seek help immediately. If hypothermia, we will move the victim to a shady area, provide liquid and salt tables to the victim. If any burns, we will soak the affected area in cold water for several minutes. After several minutes, we will cover the affected area with an antibiotic ointment and clean gauze. If we get any rashes, we will put an ointment on top of the affected area and cover it with a clean gauze. The deciduous temperate forest faces threats of acid rain caused by industrial and vehicular emissions, deforestation, and overgrazing. Humans have used the land for farming, mining, hunting, logging, and urbanization, and which have affected the environment negatively. In order to help the trees from acid rain, its land and organisms, we will not harm any trees and we will use our resources wisely. At the bottom of the food chain would be decomposers and producers such as plants, flowers, nuts, seeds, fruits, and insects. Above the producers would be the primary consumers, which include the mole deer, Douglas squirrels, and Pacific tree frogs. Above the primary consumers would be the secondary consumers, which consist of the black tippin jackrabbit and the raven. Above the secondary consumers would be the tertiary consumers, which include the mountain lion, bobcat, and coyote. And last but not least, above the tertiary consumers would be humans.
Barefoot? We could go around.
Oi!
I'm gonna use the stick to like.
Ew. How do I turn this around? Vlog.
I feel like this is all up in my shoes.
I feel it in my shoes.
Are we
Alright.
going that way?
Yeah, we're going that way.
You're really going to the branch.
Yeah.
Should
Alright.
we go that way? Or that's another thing, no? Oh, go behind.
Go.
Oh, think you? Yeah. I think we're good now.
Alright guys, so basically what we're doing right now is crossing this very muddy. Oh.
Dude, my whole foot went in here.
There's what?
Oh.
I didn't get that.
Okay, good. Maybe the backpack too. There.
Wait, say that again.
This is who we worship.